All right, y'all. Well, listen, I'm always so excited just to hang with you guys after and answer any questions about Burn, fitness, whatever. I don't know everything, like not pretending to know everything or sit up here and do a Q&A where, I'm gonna just give you answers if I don't have them. But I know it's just such a great time for us to connect after camp, post camp. I know how much you all love this brand. You love it as much as I do, some of you, and I know that there's an extreme level of dedication that starts and stops, with Bridget and in this area of the country. And so it's a privilege for me to get to sit here, and I'm honored to be able to just chat with you guys for a little bit. And nothing's really off limits. I'm a pretty open, vulnerable person. But you can really ask anything. And if I can talk forever, so if you don't have any questions, then I'll just talk about what's on my mind. With that being said, though, that was a fantastic morning. We touched down last night from Arkansas. It was us three, actually. And I think we all went to bed maybe at midnight, and we're just energized to get up and get here today because this fuels us more than anything. It's like when you find your passion, you've heard this before. It's like you're not working. You're not working. I don't feel 15-hour days every day is working. I love it. It's so motivating and exciting. And I also don't believe you need an ultimatum if you have a family. You have 3 kids all over you right now. You're a busy woman, right? But you don't need an ultimatum because when you're following your passion, right, and you're working hard, your children get to see you working hard, and they start to associate hard work with happiness. And so between this business and my family and my own personal health and pouring into our system, every day's adventure. And I travel the country and soon to be the world and run into a lot of people, and it's just, this is amazing. I wanted to first thank you for the privilege and opportunity to be speaking with you today. So anybody have any questions on their mind that they want to, any topics of conversation? Get a little thread going. It's usually like the first, you got one? Come on, Brooke.
I have a question. Because, somebody, thank you. Because I train early morning camps, I get up at different times every day. So I want to work on my morning routine because I know that sets the tone for the day. But I also don't want to get up at 3:30 every day. So what would your advice be for that?
To look at your month, look at your week. You'd want to kind of zoom out from the day, and you'd want to say, okay, how in a week span or a 2-week span or a 3 or however volatile your schedule is. Let's say you travel for work, and you travel for work 3 times a month, right? And you might want a month outlook. Hey, my travel days have a routine, but then my non-work days have a routine, and my work days at home have a routine. And I try to just compartmentalize into those 3 things. And so on Sundays, I don't get up early. On Sundays, it's my family day. I wait for my kids to wake me up, and I love when they come in and cuddle in the bed with me, and we just roll around for, 60 minutes, and I don't put the pressure on myself to have to wake up at 4:30. Because waking up at 4:30 sucks, but it's necessary because my dreams are big, and you can't sleep on your dreams, right? Same thing with you. But, Sundays to me, I have their own routine because Sundays have a different purpose in my life, in most people's lives. So, yeah, and then when I travel, guys, we were up in Arkansas at 3:45. So I'm up at between 3:45 and 4 on the road because usually you have to drive 20, 30 minutes somewhere. And so I couldn't possibly have the same routine every single day. And then the last thing that comes to my head is like giving yourself grace means like doing that 90% of the time is discipline. Expecting to have like 100% execution is an unrealistic expectation for yourself. Think about who's the best athletes in the world. Give me a best athlete in the world. Has he won every game? Has he won every game? Has he made every shot? Has he made turnovers? Right? Even the greatest of all time. Like in baseball, the greatest pitcher of all time, Nolan Ryan, right? He was his collective average was like 220. If a Major League Baseball player hits the ball 3 times out of 10, they're in the Hall of Fame. 30% execution's Hall of Fame. So just remember that you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but also the shots you do take, trying to have an expectation of making 100% of them is only going to leave you disappointed. And so that's the way that I think about it. It's just different days. Try to get your 5 days or your 2 even, and then create a routine for those and then execute that. Yeah, good question. Yes. What is your name? Shannon.
Okay. What is the, I guess, reasoning or mindset about only releasing protocol on Sunday, the day before the week, instead of letting us know a couple of weeks in advance?
Oh, okay.
Personally, and I'll tell you why I'm asking. I run
Yes.
half marathons.
Okay.
Throughout the year. She runs more of them than I do. So it's difficult, like you're talking about planning for a month, it is difficult to plan my running training
Yes.
and trying to be here
Understand.
5/6 sometimes
Yep,
days
I
a week.
understand. Does anybody else feel that way? Would you like to see it a little bit further out? Like, be honest with me. It's okay if you don't agree with her. It's that everybody has their own kind of routine and reasons why. Does anybody else feel that way? Would you like to see it 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out? We have it 60 days out all the time, right?
I knew y'all didn't wake up Sunday.
No. Yeah. Part of the reason is because, so I'll give you 2 answers. I'll give you the excuse first, which is a rationalized excuse.
Don't not show up on the days that they don't want to.
No, not even that. The technology that we have limits us from getting it further out in advance, and the way that we do it right now, it's on the website, and then we take those graphics and we put them on all the social media. And if there's multiple graphics out there at the same time, we create confusion, and some gyms might like flip on accident and start flipping stuff, right? So we try to keep everybody like methodical like that. But the technology solution is coming down the line. Later this year, in the back half of this year, you're going to open up your Burn Bootcamp app, and there's going to be a new interface there. And what happens underneath that is like an incredibly hard and difficult and expensive process. But one of the things that we're looking at as a feature in the first year of its release is the ability for you to book in advance. So booking in advance also means knowing the schedule in advance, which also means solving your problem of, it may not be 60 days out. 2 weeks seems like 3 weeks maybe seems like a good time frame. But then everything is right there. There's not graphics that just get subjectively put which channel, right? And everything is in that app drawing from the same database. So that's like the technical answer to it. And we're very interested in that. It's not the first time that I've heard that. And I'm very interested in meeting you where you are so that Burn Bootcamp can empower your running. This we might also bring back in the late future. Don't quote me on this. We might bring back the run club too. We used to have a run club.
Yeah, settle down. I run This is my social hour, and then when I run, I don't want anybody to
Who hates running? Raise your hand if you hate running. Right? Right? Right?
I literally don't like it.
There you go.
But it's fun on race day.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
Yeah,
that-
race day.
Oh,
Yeah.
still talking.
It's good. You're doing great. You're fine.
no, I'm
Yes.
like you. I'll just keep talking, so you need to give this.
This is, yes, we are coming up with solutions for you to meet you where you are
Okay.
on that one. Yep.
Awesome.
More advanced outlook to the brand.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
That's a great question. Anybody else have one? Here we go.
Could you speak a little about rest days?
Yes.
And the importance of rest days? I know that I have a hard time giving them to myself, if
Yes.
that makes sense, because I have like I don't know, my mindset just like you just got to keep going. And I know I will end up with injuries or small things that happen sometimes because I probably don't take enough of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I hear you saying is that physically moving is my mental. It's my mental health.
Yeah.
Right. So if I take a day off from the physical movement, I feel like I'm sacrificing emotionally, maybe, or mentally. And I feel the same way. Like we are the same exact person in that regard, and it takes so much discipline to be able to really dial this in. I used to work out 7 days a week, and that's not what anybody should do ever. And the reason I used to work out 7 days a week is because I thought it would give me the edge when I was a baseball player. And I was playing at the highest level, trying to compete to get to the big leagues. And I wasn't as talented as some of the other players on my team. And so I thought if I just outworked them, that I could kind of gain an edge on them. Yeah. What actually happened is I started breaking my body down. And then I ended up getting injured in my second year, and I never fully recovered from that. And your body is a machine, but machines also need maintenance. Right, and maintenance is recovery. It's foam rolling, myofascial release. It's even some long form stretching like yoga every once in a while. So I went from 7 days a week to 6 and 1. And nowadays I'm either 4 and 3 or 5 and 2.
Okay.
And when I work out, listen, it's so hard for those 4 days. Like, I mean, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you do need to kind of bridge the gap from getting to like 5 and 2, which is probably a really good, work out a couple days in a row, take a day off, work out a couple of days, or work out 5 days in a row, take 2 days off and let your body fully recover. If you want to work to get there, try some more intense recovery stuff for maybe 1 day a week. So listen, I don't think any other fitness founder would ever tell one of their members this. You should probably come 1 day less a week. If your body's starting to hurt and break down.
Okay.
You should probably not come 1 day a week.
Okay.
Or at least have periods of time. If you're gonna go 6 and 1, go have your periods. Trainers, do you guys ever do, in your periodization, do you ever do like mini breaks, like a week off every now and then? Anybody do that? Yeah, I do that once or twice a year. I'll take 2 weeks off completely.
Okay.
Once or twice a year, just to let my body regenerate, right? I got bad knees, I got bad elbows from sports my whole life, and so, but it's so hard. And sometimes I'll substitute like a long walk or something for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope that helps a little bit.
It does.
Okay.
Yoga's coming here.
Nice, good. That's a good one. Nice little teaser. There you go. Good. Who else? All right, Dev.
All right, trainer voice and all, because I think I need
Me
that week.
too. Oh
I
my
need
goodness.
that week off. Okay. Sorry, I'm in the wrong mic. This is the antenna. Okay. All right. No, but so I saw the podcast when you and Matt were talking about creatine.
Yes.
Right. So that is a huge question that is going in the gym right now about the creatine.
Yep.
Can you give us a little bit of information about, like, what do you think, especially for women, and the best one, if there is a best one? Also, are there side effects to it?
Yeah, so creatine got a really bad rap when it comes to the like women taking it, because the creatine supplement was like the muscle building supplement, right? And back in the day, before strong was the new skinny, it was like, hey, let's jump on the elliptical and let's, do a 90-minute session on the elliptical and let's do cardio. Who grew up in that era?
Yeah.
It was like cardio is the thing. And hey, if you touch a weight, you pick up one bicep curl, you're gonna wake up looking like She-Hulk the next day, right? And so you better not lift weights and take creatine, because then you're gonna look like the bodybuilders that have been. All of this is this fear mongering before clickbait. It was like headline bait, and to deter women from, I don't know exactly what, but it seems to me like to deter women from strength training. And so if you believe that building muscle is the number one, I would say, element or aspect of your fitness journey, like building muscle, which I highly recommend that you try to shift your mindset there, right? Strength is everything, right? It's going to be the thing that as you grow older, your body starts to atrophy. Hypertrophy is the antidote to atrophy, and that's what we do in our strength training days, called hypertrophy. Basically, muscle failure, right? And that muscle failure, or that pump, right? You don't wake up looking like Arnold the next day, do you? Or else none of you would be here anymore.
Yeah.
You wake up feeling more dense, stronger, more athletic, more striated, right? And you could start to see your muscles. Is that empowering or disempowering? Empowering, right? So layering a little bit of creatine on to help maximize that is only going to maximize your journey. There's not side effects.
Okay.
Creatine monohydrate doesn't have side effects,
Okay.
right? You could potentially get dehydrated if you're not drinking enough water, but that's the case with everything,
Okay.
right? Caffeine tends to dehydrate you if you're not drinking enough water. So we're going to roll out a creatine supplement, and we're going to break the mold once again when it comes to women and training, right? And we're going to get all of our members on it, and then we're going to be the collective representation for this country, that when these media, clickbait journalists want to say don't take creatine or don't lift weights because you're a woman, I'm going to get all of y'all at Members Summit doing double gun bicep pose like this, right? Looking like professional athletes, right? And we're going to see what they have to say about that.
Okay, one more. So with the creatine, when would you see change, or how long does an individual need to take it before they see a difference?
Well, you're not going to see change with creatine unless your protein levels are where they need to be. In an appropriate range of body fat, you can get up to 1.8 to 2 grams of protein per body pound.
Okay.
Like I say, within the normal range of body fat, because if you are in obese or super obese, well, then that doesn't apply anymore, right? Because somebody who might be, let's say, 350 pounds and they're just starting their journey, they got a lot of body mass to shred, they don't want to do 600 grams of protein, right? That's impossible. But if you're normal, like for me, I do a 1.5 on a regular basis, 1.5 grams of protein per body pound. So I'm 200 pounds, and you can do the math on that, right? Now a lot of protein, right? But I'm also drinking a lot of water, a gallon every single day. Every day, I'm peeing like crazy. My kidneys are great. Like, you don't need to worry about this whole like, oh, protein, overdosing on protein and kidney failure and all that. It's like,
Gotta drink.
okay, if you have some genetic predisposition to having weak kidneys, maybe there's some more considerations. I'm talking about the vast majority of like the general public. So protein is number one. All right, when you're getting your protein in, and you all know this, you're getting your protein in, you're actually going to lift more weight. You're not just gonna feel stronger, you're gonna be stronger. Right? Who feels that when they get protein in? And who also feels it when they take protein away for a couple days?
Yes.
You go on a vacation, you're vacationing,
You have a good time?
Yeah, and then you try to come back to the gym 3 days later and you try to do that same workout and you fall what we call flat, right? You get flat because you don't have enough carbohydrate and you don't have enough protein and the combination of those things. And so carbs aren't the enemy,
No.
right? Fat's not the enemy. Protein is your best friend in the world. And the enemy is toxicity. The enemy is acidity. The enemy is sugar, the 3 white poisons: sugar, flour, salt, too much salt.
Yep.
Those 3 things are going to be what robs you of their strength. And so if you're layering on your protein, you're going to get stronger because you're going to be able to feel stronger and actually be stronger. And then when you do that, you're going to give your body the amino acids through the protein that it needs to build the muscle. And when you build the muscle, now your basal metabolic rate goes up, right? And now we're burning more calories at rest, therefore keeping our body fat more in check and lower, and not having to say no to every cookie we were ever offered, right? Because we're lifting and gaining muscle, and we start to become more efficient with our metabolism when that happens. Now, you layer on creatine, right? And the reason I go through that is because it's called a supplement,
Yeah.
right? It's a creatine supplement. It's supposed to be supplementing a strong foundational nutrition regimen, and just thinking you're going to take supplements to get to where you want to go, you're never going to get there, right? And so I'm preaching to the choir now. You already know that, but
Yeah.
that's the way that I think about it. And just like lifting weights used to be taboo, creatine's still kind of taboo. It's not. It's not. Layer on your protein, lift your weights, show up to your workouts. Little creatine in your protein shake. What does Matt recommend? He recommends, yeah, but milligram wise, 5 milligrams. Yeah. You guys are such good students. Yeah, he recommends 5 milligrams of creatine every day, and so I think that's a good recommendation.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you so
Dev.
much.
You're welcome.
Next, Sylvia, Mike.
Mike. I needed your brace today, Mike. My knee's killing me, man.
When are we gonna collab on the shoe?
So this is the second time Mike and I have been doing this, and Mike. No, for real. Listen, so now you're gonna give me your number right after this. I'm building prototypes. All right. I've hired a outsourced footwear department that will be working with my retail team in house because we're not footwear experts. A technical designer, right? And then I'm gonna need people inside of Burn Bootcamp, like you're an artist, yeah?
Yes.
Sketch artist?
Yes.
Are you classically trained?
Classically, no.
Okay, so I'm not either, and we've kind of bonded over that. We need that classically, technically trained person to really do the specs and the design and the heel to toe, all that stuff. Yeah. And I'll go do that. I'll go to Asia and sleep in a factory for a couple days, or California or whatever, and I will bring back prototypes. And I'll communicate with you. You'll give me your shoe size. I'll bring you back a prototype so that you can help me R&D it. Okay?
Got
Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Coming within the year, the Burn Boot Camp shoe.
The socks.
You like the socks? Anybody have them on now? Do I have them on now?
Everyone's got their socks.
Oh, I do have them on right now. Yay!
All right, Devin, I got it one. So we love Keep Moving Club here.
Yes.
It's a huge deal every single day right now. Well, do you ever see there being like a lifetime celebration? We see it in some gyms, and we haven't been tracking it, but it's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
for sure. So we were just in Arkansas, and we had proved them to do the 1,000 Camp Club. And so they had some jackets made with 1,000 Camp Club. And going back to the question that was here, it was the technology limitation has been what's keeping us from that. I won't go into why, but when we roll our new app later this year, you're going to transfer everything that's in Mind Body right now, or everything that's in your Burn Bootcamp app right now, all the check-ins that you've had, those are going to transfer right over. And we're going to be able to right away associate your name and your membership with not only your camps here and how many you've done in the year, but also in the lifetime, and your camps everywhere else. And you're going to be able to pull up and see, I went to Tega Cay 5 days a week for this 3 straight weeks. And then I went and traveled to Arkansas, and I went to the Little Rock gym, and I went to this gym, and it's going to populate all that stuff for you. It will also, there'll be a social aspect of it. There'll be a social aspect of our app too, kind of like our Facebook group member pages right now, where when you hit that 50, you hit that 100, that 250, that 500, that 1,000, that's going to auto-populate a message that, to you, and you can click, hey, I want to share this with my entire group, and then you can get celebrated for that whatever milestone it was. You can make posts on the page, and it will kind of prompt you and be ahead of you. So like right now, we're all ahead of the Keep Moving Club. We're like, hey, I know how many camps I did. This thing is wrong. I've done 50. I've done 53 already. It says 46, but that one day I forgot to do that, and I went to this gym, and it didn't count that, right? So all those problems not only get eliminated, but we also get from reactive to really proactive with the new technology that we're going to come out with. And our philosophy on technology is, as a company, we started in a parking lot, and the only thing we had was our relationships. We only had our emotional connection with one another, and that's what's going to take this brand to where we're at now, to where it's going to go. And I and my team, and I know that our trainers and our FPs love this as well, we refuse to follow suit in status quo in this industry and slap TVs on the wall where JB has to go, all right, now you got to do this one. Just watch the screen. It's like, how fast would you leave? Gone. We're trainers. It's a craft for us, right? And so the technology philosophy says, how do we empower emotional connection? We're going to be technologically sufficient and sophisticated, but we're not going to do it in replace of the emotional connection to try to scale. What we're going to do is layer that underneath the community to empower the connections that you all have with one another and the different members throughout the nation, franchise partners to franchise partners, members to members, trainers to all layers of our community now are going to really be able to be at the be one click away from each other at any time. Think about it that way. And so just a little 2 cents on how I think about the company's evolution in technology. It's going to empower your emotional connections. It's not going to be a crutch or eliminate those things. Because as members, do you guys want to stare at a screen on the wall and work out? Right? No. Or do you want Aaron to be on a mic firing you all up and being like, hey, I don't need you looking at a wall. I need you looking inside of yourself. I need you to look inside of yourself, and I need you to find what's in your heart. You can't find what's in your heart if you're looking at the wall. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
So we'll have a 1,000.
Keep Moving Club on listen,
2,000, we might be.
listen. We do that with trainers now. I got passed up 2 years ago. For a while, I was for the first 5 years of this company, I trained 42 camps a week every week for the first 5. And so that's a lot of camps over 5 years. And this is why my voice kind of sounds like this after 2 or 3 camps nowadays, because I didn't have a mic for the first maybe 30% of those. And I was in a parking lot and in a gymnastics studio kind of screaming over the boom bass that was going on there. So we do it for trainers now. And I think Leighton in Rochester, Minnesota, and Daniel Ballard here in Mooresville, North Carolina, have far surpassed me now. But we're doing the same thing for trainers, by the way, so that you guys can know, isn't it empowering? I'm like 10,000. I've done 10,000 camps. I'm a master at this now. right? 10,000-hour rule. Malcolm Gladwell. You do this for 10,000 hours. You make it look like magic. People are like, how do you do that so well? Because I've done it 10,000 times. Next, anybody? So I can talk about who has children. Okay. No, really? You do? How many? Oh, okay. One thing that we're working on internally, if you rewind back to the beginning of the brand, it was all women. And now you're starting to see, I mean, Jeremy was in here killing it today, right? In that camp. And you know, what we soon realized after talking to so many of you, like we're out talking to thousands and thousands of members, what we realize is that, you know, to really to empower the modern day woman, what we're going to really have to do is empower their entire family. Not, you're right? And so obviously we've always had the mentality with Child Watch, and it's amazing and glorious. But the next wave of that is filling the white space, giving a program to our franchise partners to take the kids camp stuff that we do now and really button that up, tighten that up, and be able to scale that so we're doing it uniformly across the country. And so kids camp coming down the line is, to me, the next big innovation that we're gonna have in Burn Boot Camp. And you know, that combined with Burn Nutrition are really it's kind of the three-prong approach. It's like we got this adult program, right, obviously, but we have this kid program too. That's the feeder program. We're conditioning kids to fall in love with their body, fall in love with positivity and optimism, and really, I mean, they're already watching mom and dad every single day step into fear, right? You're already conditioning that hard things are something you should chase, that fear is something meant to overcome. We're already teaching them that, right? Just by subconsciously, before they even know it, they're just observing you, and they're going to emulate everything that you do, as we know. But it's like, okay, we need to take that to the next level, right? Every quarter having a program that kids, especially the kids that tend to be disenfranchised, that maybe not good athletes. Maybe they're great video game players, and maybe they spend way too much time inside, right? Getting them in, what's that?
So you know my son.
Yeah. Probably just like Max now that he has a Nintendo Switch. My always like, dude, let's go hoop. Let's go shoot some hoops. But yeah, so, you know, we're not going to stop here. Empowering you and your family. It starts and stops with you all as moms and dads too. But I hope that's an exciting notion that evolving the brand to help condition your kids, along with your lead, providing the tool for you to use if you so choose to help them become mentally strong. We know psychology will tell us that kids pretty much are who they are by 7 years old, about 85%. And then to 16 is the next 15%. By the time you're 16, your personality is your personality. You can ebb and you can flow. You can go through ups and you can go through downs. Right? But if you're an optimistic, positive person at 16, you're going to be that way at 58. Right? And so these aren't my opinions. This is just the stuff that I'm trying to study to equip myself with so that I can give more substance behind the reason that Burn Boot Camp Kids will be, I think, a pretty revolutionary thing for all of us. It's good? Any more questions, you guys? Anything else? This was super fun. Yeah, please. Last one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What's your question, honey? Hold on. See, you got to talk right into that microphone, okay? Tell me your question.
What's your question about Burn Boot Camp? Do you have a question?
We almost got it. She got a little embarrassed. What is yours? I'll repeat it, Isaiah. That's a great question. How do you scale this thing that's this people connection without losing that? Such a great question. I'm so glad that you asked. Well, it starts with this. It starts with our core value, number one, people first. And what that really means is that I know you have a family at home, yeah? Mom, dad, brother, sister, husband, wife, the kids, right? You have these people at home that you want to make proud of you, right? What's your career?
Project manager.
Okay, so you show up to your project manager job every day trying to be the best you can possibly be. Why? For who?
Well, for me,
Right?
and for the people who are depending on me.
Right? Don't you want to go to work every day and do you have kids?
No.
Okay, do you want to make your husband? Okay.
Well, my partner.
Partner, okay. You want to make your partner proud? Okay. Every day you're showing up. People first means I'm showing up to make my partner proud of me. I want to be proud of me too. But what really moves me, right, is other people. Because you'll do more for yourself or less for yourself than you'll do for other people naturally. Less, right? You can go to YouTube and you can find videos of literally grandmothers whose grandchildren get trapped under a car with their foot, and a grandmother walks up to the car and she picks up the car and she lifts the car, the whole car, 2 tons, and the kid gets their foot out. You can do more for other people than you can do for yourself. There is a power of love that is in your life, and that's the axiom of your question. That's the foundation of it, right? It's you're going to show up. You're going to want to do so good for yourself, and you're going to want to do even better for your partner, okay? So if we believe that and that's true, then the next layer to that is I need to give you, if I'm your leader, if I'm your boss, your project management team, I need to give you the transparency, the knowledge, the tools, the resources, so that you can anticipate the road ahead, so that you can plan, right, and have certainty, because that's a human need that we all have. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, one of them is certainty. I can have certainty in the future so that I know I can continue to make myself and my partner proud. And if my company doesn't give me the transparency, the knowledge, the skills, the tools, the ability to do that, right, I'm going to shut down and I'm going to get disenfranchised and I'm going to push them further away from me. Right? And Bridget, you can admit this. We went through a period of time when we were scaling for about 18 months. We didn't say much to anyone. And then what happened is the narrative and the system started happening of like, what's coming down the line? What's next? And they get freaked out because, rightfully so, because they can't anticipate the road ahead, and anticipation is power, right? And so how do we scale? I expose myself to my franchise system vulnerably with the truth, right? And as transparent as I can possibly be or possibly think of in the time. We have these things every quarter called family meetings. And if you're in our system internally, we do a live, it's Morgan and I, and we go over the issues list of the company, right? We talk about all the problems. We're not burying the problems. People don't want us to bury the problems. They want to know the problems so that they can be a part of the solution and feel like they're part of the company. So between that, so that's the 80% of it, and then the other 20% is me, my wife Morgan, Isaiah, our HQ team, being on the edge of the brand. Right here is called the edge of the brand, right? Sitting down with you, getting to understand what your needs are. Because if I can help anticipate your needs before you know what you need, I'm going to continue to build that trust with you as a member because you're going to continue to be satisfied by the product that we're putting out. Does that help? That easier said than it will be done. So now we need to layer strategy. This is the last piece. The strategy, we now have blue carpet certified locations where our franchise partners are going to be able to go to a location next to them that qualified for blue carpet certification and get all the training and all the transparency and all the resources and all the tools and all the knowledge because they need access for me to be able to execute on what I'm talking about. Make sense? Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay. All right, y'all. Good? All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't let me forget to get your number because I want to make sure I get you a prototype. And we'll do 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. Thank you all so much.